Chris, quick question for you, brother, before we move on. Jameis Winston, and I mentioned this defense. You mentioned about Jameis Winston. I'll throw a team at you guys. Minnesota, with J.J. being out, Sam Darnold is some sauce, okay? I've been saying this for years. When he's the SC, I didn't like him. If you're to Minnesota, you have weapons. Now, Hawkinson is down, so that's very worrisome. But, Aaron Jones, you're talking about Justin Jefferson. They really got Jordan Addison, former Biletnikoff winner at Pitt before he transferred to SC. What about a team like Minnesota taking a flyer on a guy like Jameis to try to salvage this year? Because it's just Sam Darnold.
No, I'd be open to trying him. I think the thing with Darnold, and I agree with, I don't think he'll, pan out. No. But I think they're looking at, he had a year under Shanahan. Obviously, O'Connell's from that tree, similar offenses. So I think that was their attraction to Darnold. But I'm with you. I would try. Look, I wouldn't be under any illusion that Jameis Winston is, going to lead us to some super season and maybe be our bridge quarterback before. Well, he could be a bridge quarterback, I guess. But, I'm not thinking he's going to resurrect his career and be a star. But sure, I would definitely look at him, bring him in and see if he can battle with Darnold for that starting position at some point. Obviously he's coming in late. But, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Defense?
Jameis.
I was going to say Chris and VJ. What about Des Ridder?
Nah, he's not a pro.
Nah, I was.
You don't think they give him a chance?
That was a huge miss.
Okay,
that was a huge miss. That was a huge. If you go back and put the Cincinnati tape on, it's right there for you. It really is. But in today's world, teams are pressured. Whether people want to admit it, teams that draft high, they're pressured to take a quarterback this year because we can't look into the class next year. If you like a guy now, you gotta go. Look what Atlanta did. You give $100 million to Kurt, right? But obviously they really did like Penix. So you go get him. You don't wait till the class next year because you're gonna miss out. I think Ridder was a miss from the beginning. I think Jameis, Chris, I think he could come in. I think he'll be better than what Darnold's going to give them. I just think with all that talent, and think Aaron Jones, right? He's got a chip on his shoulder. You think he wants to line up and break a huddle and see 14 standing in front of him?
No. Look, I think they should do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just saying I wouldn't expect Jameis to, light the world on fire. Nah. But, yeah, I would do it. Look, he's got some leadership qualities. We know players like him. He's a veteran now. Obviously, his decision-making and turnovers have always been a problem for him. But he was under Sean Payton, so maybe learn some things from that. But, yeah, I would definitely look at him for sure.
Yeah, just a thought.
If I'm the Minnesota Vikings. Let me ask you this about another quarterback in the NFC, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
People are all over the place on him. Some think he's, not that good, had one great season, but he's not going to duplicate that. Others think I think he's going to be in the MVP discussion. I don't think he's going to win it. I think he'll have a very good year, bounce back year, and be in the discussion. Where are you at on Jalen? You think this will be a bounce back year?
Yeah, I've always loved Jalen Hurts. Listen, if he doesn't have the fumble, scoop, and score before the half in the Kansas City game, he's got a Super Bowl ring. I put that on him. That Philly loss.
It was
on him. Because other than that,
that's why I can't ever say he was great, but he didn't outplay Mahomes.
Yeah,
because that one fumble, which was just an unforced fumble, cost them the game.
Before the half. If you just fall right there and go into the half, they're gonna win that football game. And I put that on him, even though that's my guy. I think they have a huge bounce back year for two reasons. Whether people realize it or not, I don't dislike him as much as other people do, but I can see what people saying about is Nick Sirianni. I don't dislike him as much as other people do, but I see their point. Exactly. I see their point. That's number one. And reason number two, they bounce back, Mr. Saquon Barkley. You add that to that offense. Basically, they traded that for the running back that went off to Chicago. I'm sorry, his name is slipping my
Swift.
Yeah, thank you, Swift from Georgia.
Who's good, but he's not as good as Saquon.
No, Saquon's going to give them so much. Dallas Goedert at the tight of possession. Love Devontae Smith. Love A.J. Brown. They have a chance.
Weapons galore.
Yeah, they got weapons
just had
galore.
Dotson.
Yep.
Dallas Goedert's good.
Exactly. So
I'm with you.
Within that division, and remember, we spoke yesterday, it's 20 years since a team won back-to-back. So it's not going to be Dallas that wins the NFC East. It's not going to be the Commanders, and it's not going to be the Giants. So that leaves Philly to go ahead and take it this year. And last year, too, people forget, they started off 10-1, and we were talking about Philly as, oh, yeah, they're going back. They want to get back to that Super Bowl, and then things fell apart. Also, he got hurt last year, and we didn't know until the end of the season, until the season's over. He played.
We don't even know. I mean, I agree with you that I think, I want to believe it, but he never confirmed that he was injured. No, you know what I mean?
Like
nobody's ever really said. There were rumblings. Obviously he wasn't moving as well as usual.
No, at all.
And I agree. I think he was injured, but we just don't know. I mean, he never said it. Nobody else ever said it. We don't know for a fact.
He can't today's world, Chris, because what'll happen is people will radio and TV and so we'll say he's making excuses. I agree with him not admitting it. I probably wouldn't admit if I played pro sports today and I was Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't admit it either. Just say, hey, look, we didn't finish. Own it. We didn't finish. We didn't play well. It fell apart. We're on to this year. But yeah, I was hurt. You guys put the tape on. Do I look the same to you? Okay, then. That's how I would kind of deliver it. You said it yourself. He wasn't moving the same, man. It was like, what's up with Jalen Hurts? And then it affects your throws. And then A.J. Brown, remember, he got a little kooky towards the end of the year. It fell apart after starting 10-1 last year. I think they have a major bounce back.
And they weren't playing great. And you remember the dialogue when they were even 10-0.
Yeah.
It was always, they even admitted they didn't think they were playing well.
Yeah, they should have lost the Buffalo game.
Yeah,
Buffalo gave them that game.
They weren't the same. It was a Super Bowl hangover. That's
true.
Pure and simple. But yeah, I think you'll have a bounce back year. I think Kellen Moore will help.
Yeah.
Because, their offense will be a lot more imaginative.
Yep.
They rarely threw over the middle. They had very little pre-snap motion in their offense. And they didn't give him the answers to the test when the test was the blitz. All right. Yeah. And he was bad against the blitz. And I think Kellen Moore will do that. So, yeah, I expect a bounce back year from the Eagles.
What do you like, 13-4, 12-5?
I think they can win 13 games.
Yeah,
I think they can win 13 games.
No major guy goes down with, like an Achilles or they have like the bulk of their team. I'm with you. I like 13
and I think, like you said about Barkley, I think he can have a Christian McCaffrey type impact.
Ooh.
And I agree with you that McCaffrey's the best running back in the league, but I think Barkley can do what McCaffrey did for the Niners for the Eagles. I mean, Barkley has run behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league for his entire career with no other quarterback or receivers that the defense had to pay attention to. And he still did damage. Now imagine him when you have to worry about those receivers and you have to worry about Dallas Goedert and you have to worry about Jalen maybe running. And now you can't focus on Saquon. So I think he's going to do damage.